Hi everyone, welcome back to Have a Beer with Eric. This is review number 10, and for today we have a growler. I went to Longship Friday and I used one of my Groupons and I brought back a growler of a style of beer that I usually don't drink that often. It's a red ale. This is their, but this is a variant of their red ale actually. This is the Erik the Red Eye. So their regular red ale is Erik the Red, and so they decided to make a variant with coffee, and they had it both on nitro and just regular CO2, and I really liked it, so I decided to bring a growler. So it was filled on March 30th, so that's around 2.5 days ago, and the ABV is 6.3%. So I'm usually not a big fan of red ales. They're a bit too sweet for me. They're even sweeter than like regular porters and stouts, and those usually, although usually when they're sweet, it's because they're pastry stouts or like pastry beers. But when they're not, usually the red ales or amber ales are the ones that are mostly the sweet ones. They're more like a caramel sweet, like with biscuity like mouthfeel, and so I'm just not a huge fan of it. But I really enjoyed this one, so um, the bartender there suggested that I should do a review on this because he recognized me from my Instagram, which was pretty cool. It's the first time I get recognized, which is pretty nice. So I was taken by surprise, but it's nice. So he said that they used the coffee from Seven Seas Roasting Company in South Park, and let's crack this baby open. There we go. Cool. So I'm usually not a big fan of shaker pints, this type of glass, but I've read that pretty much the only style that benefits from the shaker pint is the red ale. I'm not sure how, but I'll probably do more information on that, more research as we go along. So you can see it's a pretty dark red. It's got maybe around almost a finger of head, not quite the entire finger. Um, it has like a little off yellow color on the head. And let's get a sniff. So I get a little bit of the malty smell that a red ale usually has, but I also get a good amount of coffee into that too. So it's a good combination of both. Neither one is overpowering. It's not too sweet and it's not too much coffee. And the head is pretty much already gone, although that might be partly because it comes from a growler. So hopefully no more gas, no more CO2 leaks out of there. And let's try it out. Yeah, so you get a lot of coffee out of this beer. They added the beer or the coffee during the dry hopping process. So instead of dry hopping it with hops, after fermentation, they added the coffee beans to get a good amount of coffee in there, and it worked really well. It's a really nice balance of the coffee and the beer. I do definitely get more coffee in the taste than I do in the smell, but it's good. It's a nice beer. It has a kind of like a dry finish. It doesn't it's not too sweet, thanks mainly to the coffee. But I've actually never had the regular Erik the Red, so I can't say how much the coffee changed the beer. But I have a feeling that this beer overall is not a really sweet red ale like others. but definitely do get some of the caramel taste at the back. Like I get coffee forward, then like maltiness back, and it makes a good combination. And I mean, even though it comes in at 6.3, like it seems kind of easy to drink. Maybe like taking small sips, you can slowly, but it's not a strong beer whatsoever. But yeah, this is my third time going to Longship, and I've always enjoyed their beers. They do a lot of malt forward beers, and they're actually really good. I'm not a huge fan of their IPAs, but they definitely come through with their other styles. I really like their Dunkelweizen and their American Strong Ale. They're both really solid beers. Um, and they have a cool rewards program where every time you go and you spend a certain amount of money, you get like a point for each dollar, and then you start racking up rewards. Um, I think right now I can get like a penny size taster, or no, taster size penny pour, and but I'm waiting to try to rack up more points to get a like a free growler or something, so that'll be nice. Um, Longship is in the Mira Mesa part of San Diego, so a bit north of Miramar. I'm not entirely sure how long they've been around. There's a little description right here. It says, since the 9th century, the Viking longship has been a vessel of symbol of exploration, trade, and cultural exchange. The pride of the Nordic people was their ability and drive to cross the oceans in ways no other had done before. With the curiosity of the unknown, this guided them to uncover the world's riches, solidifying their place in history. In the same drive for exploration that fills the sails of Longship Brewery, it is the same drive of exploration that fills the sails of Longship Brewery. We strive to seek out daring and bold ingredients, pushing the limits in order to create uniquely strong, smooth flavors. Fearless to uncover new lands, join us on our journey as we at Longship Brewery sail into the foamy unknown. So that's the description that the growler has of the brewery. It doesn't say what year they opened though. I probably could have looked it up, but oh well. It says Voyage On, as you guys saw, and it's a pretty nice tasting room. It's not too big, but they have a Randall that they have on I think every Wednesday. So pretty much they put a beer through a mechanism that adds where you can throw in like fruit or coffee beans or more hops, and then the beer runs through it, and then it gets that flavor from whatever ingredient you throw in. So that's a pretty cool thing to try out whenever they have it. And the bartenders have always been really nice to me. I've had really great service. I have the bartender that recognized me this past Friday. I've had him. I think every single time that I've been there, he's been there, and he's always been really nice. Explained to me like their beers and stuff. So, and I mean, he encouraged me to put this beer in here. So, thanks to his nice service, and he provided me with the coffee roasters. So, I just decided to do it and support a local brewery. I really enjoyed this beer. I believe that I when I had it I was actually able to compare the CO2 version versus the nitro version, and I think the nitro version gave it kind of like some creaminess and more malt forward, while the CO2 let the coffee come forward more, and I ended up liking the CO2 version better with more coffee, and luckily I like that better because I ended up getting a growler of it, and so I got a Groupon for there, and it was like I think like $20, and it's like a flight, 2 pints for a couple people, and the growler plus the fill. So it's a really good deal. You should definitely go check out the brewery. Um, so this is I'm recording this one kind of early because because of the growler, but I'll be posting it on Wednesday. And then I just bought another beer that I'll probably be doing for the review next week. And also, uh, I'll have a treat for next week, like separate from my video. I'll probably end up doing 2 videos because I'll be going somewhere, and I'll let you guys know more about that next week. To close out this video, I'm ranking this beer around 4.25. I think it's probably one of the better red ales that I've had, probably one of the best ones, since I don't drink red ales too much, or amber ales. Another one that I would recommend would be the Blazing Rome for Modern Times. It's a hoppy amber. It's a bit more bitter to it, like hoppy bitterness, but it has a goat malt balance. But yeah, this is very tasty. All right, well, hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.